Hello there, this is Sim Racing Corner. In this video we are testing a 3D printed THRUSTMASTER wheel adapter. With this you can attach any 70mm bolt pattern wheel rim to your THRUSTMASTER wheelbase, freeing you from the THRUSTMASTER wheel ecosystem. And in this video we'll be trying this with a few of the wheel rims from my collection. The model for this adapter is freely available and the download link is in the description. I've printed the adapter at 100% infill in PLA, and at the end of the many hours of printing, this is the result. I made the mistake of leaving the print layer height at the default, which was 0.15mm, and the print took around 16 hours, so yeah, it took a bit longer than I expected. But it didn't really need to be printed at such a fine resolution. 0.3mm would have halved the print time and made a perfectly good print for our application. Using some infill would have reduced the print time, but I didn't want to take any chances in case of any weak parts, so I just printed it as a solid model. The rim we have on our TX wheelbase is the Ferrari 458 Italia rim. It's lightweight, hollow and cheap feeling plastic. It feels a little toy-like, and the rubber covering grip has a sticky feel, and it's slightly too thin for adult hands in my opinion. I do like the paddle shifters however, they feel quite nice. It's just a shame about the rest of the rim though. So we'll see if swapping this out for a real wheel rim is going to give us a more enjoyable experience. The first thing we need to do to attach this adapter to our wheel rim is to pop in some M5 nuts into the recesses like so. They all slipped in perfectly, and that demonstrates how accurate this model is. Now we just bolt it onto the rim. Everything is perfectly aligned to the 70mm bolt pattern on the wheel. Now with the wheel attached, we can go ahead and power on the THRUSTMASTER base. It's performing its usual pre-checks and we are good to go. I like using this 300mm OMP wheel rim in Kartcraft, so that's what I'm doing here. The wheel is solidly attached with the adapter, there's no side-to-side wiggle at all. This rim is 20mm wider and it's heavier than the Ferrari 485 rim, and both weight and size does have a bearing on the force feedback. The wheelbase motor is working harder as it is a larger mass to move, and I can feel the difference in the force feedback delivery, feeling a bit weaker. That's perfectly expected when we consider these factors. It's nothing terrible, but a trade-off nonetheless. The TX wheelbase I'm using here isn't the most powerful of the THRUSTMASTER range, so this would be a lesser issue on say the TSPC Racer wheelbase. Next up is my Fanatec Formula rim converted to USB, which means I can pop it onto our THRUSTMASTER base and it still retains full use of the paddle shifters and buttons. This rim is 270mm wide, so it's small and nimble, and actually quite a nice combination on this THRUSTMASTER base. It's still heavy-ish, but the smaller size means less leverage against the force feedback, so that's always good. So the force feedback feels quite nice on this wheelbase. It's good for GT, LMP and of course open wheelers. And finally, this is my Sportline wheel with an Ascher button plate. Perversely, this is more expensive than the entire THRUSTMASTER TX with its original wheel and pedals, so maybe an unlikely pairing, but it works just fine. One thing to consider, a custom wheel setup like this means it can be moved onto an OSW direct drive base later on. If you're someone upgrading your sim gear over time, spreading the cost maybe, this type of wheel arrangement will carry over. And of course, if you 3D print this adapter yourself, you also have the means to 3D print a button plate and shifter paddles, conceivably making your own at a very affordable cost. Returning back to this 3D printed adapter, it functioned perfectly. I'd go as far as to say a complete success. And using an authentic wheel is a lot nicer. Having a more substantial quality wheel in your hands adds to the realism. It's definitely a step up over the Ferrari 458 rim. THRUSTMASTER do sell other wheel rims which are nicer than that one, but if those alternatives are not to your liking, then this is your solution. Print off one of these adapters and plant your own wheel on. Great stuff. Let me know in the comments what you think of the video, and please hit the like to support the channel and consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. So we're going to end it here. So thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned for more videos coming up on the Sim Racing Corner channel very soon. Happy simming, folks. Take care and bye bye for now.